Hey friends, it's Laurie. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today, I'm duping 3 Pottery Barn decor pieces, and I'm using mostly Dollar Tree supplies, and I'm also going thrifting. For my first project, I'm making eclectic silver candlestick holders, so I headed off to Goodwill to see what I could find. Fixing the bottom on the first one that I found, that's a super easy fix. It was $3.99 and I really like the shape of it. I think it's copper, but for some reason, I don't know, I just put it back. I then found this heavy two-tone candlestick holder and it was $6.99, a bit more than I wanted to spend, but it was perfect for this dupe, so I grabbed that, and then a second later, I found its twin and it was just a bit bigger and it was also $6.99. And here I am again. I can't keep my hands off the copper one. And once again, I didn't pick it up, but I did go back and get it before I left. The last one I found was the perfect size, and it was $2.99, definitely in my budget. I believe it's brass, and it has a few imperfections on it, but I added it into my collection. I did receive 20% off of my total, so the 4 of them cost me about $17. When I brought them home, they all did have some imperfections and they were dirty, and I noticed the larger ones, they had a bunch of wax residue on them. I did want to use 5 of them for my dupe, so I ended up at Savers and I found this really nice glass one. It was only $1.99. I cleaned them all and I scraped off the excess wax, and then I used boiling water to remove the rest of it, and of course the 2 bottoms fell off of my larger candlestick holders, but I'm just going to let them dry out and I'll attach them at the end of the project. I'm giving all 5 of them a coat of this silver metallic spray paint. I'm also using some cat food cans to elevate my candlestick holders. And because my brass and my glass holders don't have felt bottoms, I'm going to turn them upside down and spray their bottoms first. When they were all set, I gave each of them a coat. I let them dry completely, and then I turned over my brass and my glass holder, and then I gave all 5 of them a second coat. Today's Duping Through the Holidays playlist is being hosted by Brandi from The DIY Struggle. She has brought together a talented group of crafters, and there is also a $100 Visa card giveaway, and all you need to do to enter is to answer a giveaway question hidden in each channel's video. Leave the answer to the question in that channel's comments, and you'll be entered in to win the gift card. The last day to enter is November 16th, 2021, and the winner will be announced on my community tab on Thursday, November 18th. If you're new to my channel, please consider clicking on that little red subscribe button below, and if you like my videos, give me a big thumbs up. Now that they're completely dry, I repaired the bottoms on the 2 taller ones, and all that's left to do is add in our candles. I picked mine up at the Dollar Tree, and then I added 1 to each. This dupe was so fun and easy to make, and with the candles, it cost me just under $25 to make all 5. Pottery Barn is asking $38.99 for the medium-size holders and $43.99 for each of the larger size. I think mine look just as nice for a whole lot less. For my second dupe, I'm making a gnome-shaped pillow. I'm starting by using 2 of the Dollar Tree snowflake knit hats, and I actually bought them at separate times, and the weird thing is, One came with a pom-pom and one didn't. Before I get started, I'm removing the tags and the pom-pom, and I won't be using it for this project. I want my gnome to stand up, so I'm using a piece of cardboard, and this is just the insert from a frozen pizza. And then I'm using this little bowl that's about the size of the top of the hat. And then I'm simply tracing it with my pen and then cutting it out with my scissors. Now that I have it cut out, I'm just going to try it in the bottom of the hat to make sure that it fits. I'm then popping it out and adding some hot glue to the inside top of the hat. And then I'm just placing the cardboard back into place. To fill my pillow, I'm using some polyfill that I had in my stash, but you can use anything that you have on hand. And now it's super easy. You just stuff the pillow to whatever size you'd like. When I'm done, and to help keep the filling in the hat, I'm using my glue gun, and I'm just kind of folding over one side of the hat and I'm gluing it into place. And after I do it on one side, I then do the exact same thing on the other. To add on my beard and my nose, I'm using one of the gnome stockings from the Dollar Tree. It pulls apart really easy, and then I'm just going to cut away the fabric from the top of the beard and the nose. I actually used one of these making a gnome pillow in my last video, so after you check out the playlist, come on back and I'll have that linked below in my description. So now that the beard's removed, I'm going to carefully cut off his nose. Now that they're in two pieces, I'm going to place the beard against the pillow, having the bottom part of the beard be flush with the bottom part of the pillow. Then, using my glue gun, I'm just attaching the beard into place. I'm now making my gnome's hat, and I'm making sure the snowflake is centered on the front, and I'm going to add in just about a handful of polyfill and kind of push it up to the top. Now, making sure that I'm keeping the snowflake in the front, I'm just placing the hat over my gnome. I pulled my hat down on both sides and the back, and then I used my hot glue gun to attach them into place. I then took the nose, tucked it up under the hat, used my hot glue gun to attach it to the beard, and then I placed a little on the top of the nose and attached it to the hat. And now I'm turning him around, and I'm tucking in some of the hat fabric, and then I'm adding a bit of hot glue to kind of turn it into a point. When I was done, I then just kind of folded the hat over, and I'm adding on this pretty green pom-pom from the Dollar Tree as his final accent. I removed it from the keychain and just simply hot glued it to the top of his hat. My dupe is slightly different than the Pottery Barn's, but I think he is so cute. Sven, the gnome pillow, is sold out on Pottery Barn, but his friends are going anywhere from $60 to $70. He is currently selling on eBay for $155 and $175, and he only cost me $4 to make. I'm starting my wreath by using one of the 14-inch wire wreath forms from the Dollar Tree. And my giveaway question is, what is the number of the day you were born? To be entered, make sure you leave it in the comments below, and you can always leave me a message if you'd like. I'm wrapping my form with this white burlap that I had on hand, but the Dollar Tree burlap will work just as well. I'm adding some hot glue on one of the supports and then attaching my burlap. And now I'm wrapping my burlap around the form, and I'm adding some hot glue every few wraps to help hold it in place. And the reason I'm wrapping the form is it gives me something to attach my ornaments to. I'm using Dollar Tree ornaments for my wreath, and I noticed some that I bought last year, they only gave us 5, but this year they're packaged with 7. To make a hanger for my wreath, I'm using a piece of floral wire, and I'm just simply wrapping it around the form and twisting it into a loop. When I was done, I added a little hot glue to the back to help hold it in place. The Pottery Barn wreath is completely silver, but I'm adding in a hint of gold, so I'm using 2 packages of the Dollar Tree ornaments, and then the rest of my wreath will be silver. I'm starting with the larger Dollar Tree ornaments, and I'm placing them around the outside of the wreath to get my spacing. And I'm randomly adding in a gold one here and there. When I'm done, I'm then hot gluing each of them in place. And now I'm adding them to my center to get my spacing, and once again, I'm adding in a hint of gold. And then hot gluing these in place as well. I used 4 packages of the large silver and 2 packages of the large gold ornaments, and so when I was done with the outside and the inside, I just added the random bulbs left around the center. The reason I added gold to my wreath is there'll be a hint of gold showing through, and I'm not limited to just silver in my decor. I'm now adding the next size down, and Dollar Tree gives you 12 bulbs in each package. I'm using the assorted silver packs, and I'm filling in the spaces. As I'm attaching them, I'm doing my best to try to keep the hanger part hidden. I used 3 of the assorted silver packs, and now I'm adding on the next size down, and Dollar Tree gives you 15 ornaments in a pack, and I'm adding on 1 shiny, 1 flat, and 1 sparkly pack. And just like the other ornaments, I'm adding these, filling in the open spaces and making sure to keep the hanger side down. I'm definitely adding on more ornaments than my Pottery Barn inspiration. I just want my wreath to be much fuller and bigger, so that's why I'm adding on these extra ornaments. This is how my wreath looks when I'm done, and now I'm going to add on another layer of smaller bulbs. I could only find these smaller gold ornaments, so I'm using some of this metallic silver spray paint that I had on hand to change their color. I evenly spaced them on some wooden skewers, and then I went outside and gave them a complete coat. When they were dry, the color was perfect, and in my stash I found 5 more small ornaments. And then as before, I just added these on, giving my wreath another layer. And lastly, I found 3 packages of these mirrored ornaments at the Dollar Tree, and I just removed the hangers by pulling them out. They came out super easy. And then all I did was use my glue gun one last time, and I added them randomly around the wreath. And now that I'm done, this is my finished wreath. And though it's difficult to see the little hints of gold showing through because of my lighting, they're there, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful. The Pottery Barn wreath is lighted, and it costs $149. I duped mine using Dollar Tree supplies, and it cost me under $20. And one thing my wreath has that the Pottery Barn's doesn't is when the sunlight hits those little mirrored ornaments, it leaves a beautiful pattern on your walls. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed my Pottery Barn dupes. If you're new to my channel and you're thinking, hey, I'd like to come back and hang out with her again, don't forget to click that little red subscribe button below and tap on the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.